wipe the tears from my face. I take a breath and I keep going. Because let me tell you, weaker men would have given the fuck up. Weaker men would have quit. Some even weaker men would have fucking killed themselves with the amount of stress and pressure and deprivation that I felt like I was under week after week after week. I lost $144,000 in 2 weeks while being $100,000 in debt as a business owner. I'm going to tell you the story, the mistakes I made so you can avoid making them, the way it changed me as a man and as a business owner, and things that I will never do again in business and life, and how I maintained a mindset through extreme overwhelm and stress under what would be a level of insurmountable pressure that many of you may have even killed themselves over. That is no exaggeration. And you are almost guaranteed to experience something like I have experienced over a long enough time period. My intention of telling you this story is to help you navigate those dark days ahead with less pain so you don't lose it all. This is a meaningful amount of money to me, and the emotions that I experienced are ones that are going to be really relatable to you, no matter if you make less than $100,000 or a multi-six-figure business owner or a 7-8-figure business owner. You're going to get the state, the emotions that I went through, and are going to be able to take something from the mental fortitude and mindset required to go through a difficulty like this. Some of the biggest lessons in here will be around your relationship to money, fear, and handling stress. Been wanting to tell this story for a while, so let's take it back. We were living in Bali, and I run a pretty high-ticket coaching program called Trinity. It's like an all-in-one coaches academy for health professionals and coaches. It's really exclusive and small. We have 9 students, which was basically our limit for the intake. And you know when you're working with somebody and you can just sense that something's wrong, and your intuition is lighting up. Something's wrong, and they might be not communicating something that they need to. They're hiding and concealing something. And I could feel something was off first with one of my female students, and just wasn't engaging as much, wasn't listening as much, wasn't actioning things as much. And I had built my program Trinity and built this business in a way where people only pay after they pay their deposit. People only pay once it starts to work for them. So once they start to actually get results and beyond the results of what the program cost them, then they start to pay. So all the pressure was on me to make sure I provide the environment and the structure and the accountability for them to get clients, grow their business. For some people, it works really well because those are the people who are driven, who are quite self-accountable, who respond really well to the structure that we've created. But then there's a certain amount of people that don't respond well to this. And these are the people who have a lot of wounds. These are the people who maybe don't want to actually grow their business, which later I didn't fucking realize was going to be a big problem because I just assumed, I gave benefit of the doubt that people are all here wanting to grow their own business, because that's a big component of our program. What we do within Trinity is you want to be a coach, you want to get clients, and you want to sacrifice as needed, put in the work as needed to grow your coaching. Okay, sounds pretty common sense. It's absolutely not. And it's a mistake that I made. And so one of our female students, and this is nothing disparagingly towards any of the students that I'm about to speak on, it's not personal at all. These are just lessons. And so one of these students sensed something's wrong, and okay, so we get to a point where she's just not actioning things week after week. Just, little excuses are coming up, and I'm really finding it difficult because it's we're months and months into this program at this point, and things are just not clicking. Things are just not moving. And I can take responsibility and understand that I'm not going to be for everybody, but putting that to the side for a second, things are not working, things are not clicking. And this student gets to a point of realizing oh, you know what? I don't think I want to be a coach anymore. I don't think I want to run my business anymore. I'm like, fuck, really? Well, I can't force anybody. You can't force anybody who doesn't want to do that thing anymore, right? Because and it was hard for me because I had invested so much into, I invest so much into my guys in our program. And they have my whole heart and my whole soul. This is not some fucking transactional thing for me. This is like, I care about making money. Absolutely. I'm not going to shy away from that. I love making money because it creates so much beauty and abundance in the world. And you can do so much great things with it. It's not just ego gratification, it's abundance and what you can create with it. But it's not just facing that. It's like you invest so much in a person, and then what they say to you when they start with, I want this, I want this, I want this. And it's like, great, that's what you want. I can help you create that. And then they change their mind 4 or 5 months in. I'm like, shit. This person had only started like $100 a week debit. And that was a very small amount what it had to build to eventually to actually recoup the costs of what I invested into them. They had already come on a retreat, for example, when we got retreats in our program, and our retreats are fucking expensive now because I just go nuts. I go crazy. I want to create exceptional once in a lifetime experiences and go deep. So I'm not thinking to cut costs. I'm thinking go all out, all in. So I'm in the negative at this point. I've invested more in this person, but how my program works is that you invest. You invest once you have recouped your money's back, and we've helped you, grow your business and grow your clientele. Because I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought, all right, that's fair. That's a no-brainer for people to take risk on something that hasn't been around for 10 years and has a million testimonials. But now we got enough testimonials where I don't do that shit anymore. I'll tell you about that later. Anyway, so she ends up saying, I don't want to run my business anymore. So what that means is that this program, guys, is not something that you just come in and out of. This is a 12-month experience. You start and you finish at the 12-month mark. And it's like the building up. It's a crescendo. People, like, they get ensconced in this family. It's not just a fucking community. Fuck the community shit. This is like people getting tattoos of themselves in their body. Like, this shit is deep. People are crying at every retreat. We're there with them. People call us a fucking cult. We're making documentaries and movies, which you can see on this page, and you can see how deep it goes. You can see what it means to people. Like, they're changing the fabric of their identity and who they want to be in their life, and they're getting so much more confidence and clarity in their direction, in their identity, in their purpose and meaning. And we're uncovering all these layers, and they're finding new parts of themselves. And they're like, you know what? I am going to do that thing. And that thing that really scared me, I'm going to do that. I'm going to create that life. And now I've done that. And this is what's happening. And so you become befriended with those people you're coming up with, and you grow with those people. And for one person to leave is like a person who you've come up with in a sporting team. Imagine you're on a team, right? And you've been playing with them for years, and you're playing for them for the season, and we're going to come to the finals. We're going to do this together. We're going to win. We're going to win together. We're going to get the championship. We're going to raise the trophy above our head, and we're going to do it together. And you just like, yeah, you're with me, right? And then that's it. I don't want to play on the team. In fact, I don't want to play this sport anymore. I don't want to play this sport anymore. And okay, you don't want to play this sport anymore, but hold on, you said you wanted to, and you signed a contract saying, I messed that up as well. I'll tell you about that later. You supposedly signed an agreement, and that you're going to do this. I changed my mind. I don't want to. I don't think this is for me. And so fortunately, I really had an amicable exiting of this person outside of Trinity. She was very respectful, and I have nothing but positive things to say. It was really understandable, and I think this person left on amicable terms and the right terms, and this wasn't a case of just you need to work harder, but that the fact that this format, this career, this profession in this format is probably not aligned for where you are at this stage and season of your life right now. And after many hard hours and hours of conversation, and it's the mental occupation that it takes up in your mind. It's you're racking your brain. How can I help this person? Where did I go wrong? It's that consumption of that within you when someone leaves something that you've dedicated so much time and energy to. It's not just the money, it's the amount of energy you've poured into somebody, and they just leave. And you don't want to force them to stay in something that's not for them, because you can't. It's not right. It's not right. And so she leaves. And it's on amicable somewhat terms. And it's like, okay, you don't want to grow your business anymore. We understand. I understand. Okay. Has a career to fall back on. And there's this, And during that same time, this other young man in our program, so that's a hit. Fuck. But okay. At the same time, within this same time period, I'm helping another young man in our program. And I want you to imagine one client leaving my program is like 10 clients leaving yours, or 20 clients leaving yours, from a monetary, emotional, mental perspective. There's a reason why we can only have so many people in Trinity, okay? Because the intensiveness of commitment from everybody together, me and my team, and it's a lot, okay? It's only so scalable, which is another lesson I'll tell you about later. Okay, so now the second young man. He's noticed one lesson to give to you guys is when people become disengaged in your program, in your business as a client, when they stop filling in trackers, when they start to show up late, when they start to no-show to calls, when they have their video off, when they stop asking questions or making comments as much, these are telltale signs that I have seen so many times over in my 10 plus year coaching profession, particularly in a deeper, more inclusive, intensive program like this. You start to see clues. So you guys want to watch out for those. Start to see these things come up. It's like, I'm just not being as adherent. See, a problem was all of these students that I'm mentioning, a problem and consistency was none of them were on a debit. I had supported this client student for months. It would have been at least 5 months. We're coming up to this, I believe, the 6-month mark of the program. Imagine coaching somebody for 6 months and all they've put down is deposit like 6 months ago. And your program is one where, well, once you lose the weight, that's when you start paying. You're fucked. You're fucked. You put yourself at so much risk. And I put myself at so much risk because I thought, well, I have the structures in place. I have the accountability. I have the coaching skill set to be able to help people get to where they want to get to. But it's all predicated on the motherfuckers listening. It's all predicated on the motherfuckers still wanting the same thing that they came to me with, keeping their word. Now, a problem with keeping your word is that it requires a level of maturity, emotional intelligence, and just general good ethics, morality, and self-awareness. Now, as you navigate life, as you're a young person in your early 20s, for example, that is something that you're still developing. And I can admit, because I've made my own mistakes in that way too. However, you can rarely catch me not keeping my word. That's me and my framework of morality. Nevertheless, I made the mistake of now I'm supporting, you're coaching these clients, you're supporting these people, and they're not giving you $1. So the problem with that is that people they don't have skin in the game. There's no monetary commitment to hold themselves accountable to the very thing that they say is important to them. So you think, oh, I'm helping them out. This is fair. It's actually not fair because you create perverse incentives, which means you de-incentivize the very actions that you want to incentivize, which is commitment, keeping your word, accountability, following through with what you say. If people are engaging in a program of some sort, engaging in something, and there aren't stakes and accountability and skin in the game, and there isn't something that you're putting down, then you can take things for granted. You can easily start to devalue the experience. And what I'd fucked up was a principle called Yerkes-Dodson's law. This is a principle that describes the relationship between arousal and stress and performance. Meaning, a person needs enough pressure and stress in order to produce a certain outcome. This could be within training, within sport, it's very commonly, but in life itself. If you are just given money, here's your $100,000 a year, you can just live. I have all my basic expenses covered. You now no longer have the necessary pressure and stress to fulfill your basic financial needs because you have it taken care of. As a result, you can begin easily to start coasting, begin fulfilling just basic hedonistic activities, because why do you need to work unless something higher is driving you to do so? Now, what has happened here and what I fucked up is that I created perverse incentives. People began to do the opposite of what they said they wanted and what we incentivized and what we wanted them to do, which is basically just take action towards the very goal that they said was important to them. Well, when they don't have monetary stakes, they're much less likely to do so. You guys think that paying money for something is for the other person. See, I have given enough pro bono free fucking work and coaching and mentorship to know that when you give freely to people, there is only a small fraction of self-driven individuals who will not squander that opportunity and take it for granted. People need to put money down, not just for the other person, but for themselves. Because once you put money down for yourself, you have something to lose. You have something at stake. And so I will continually get more and more expensive the more you fuckers don't listen and piss me off. That's an ego statement right there, but it's also with a matter of fact, in that the more expensive something is, generally the more people value it. Now, I have to take a great deal of accountability and responsibility, because this is not just principles and people just not listening. This is my fault. This is my fault. I take complete and utter responsibility because I let these people in to my program, to Trinity. I could have filtered better. I could have set up the monetary investment much better from the start. And I have learned some hard lessons. So the problem with this was that these students were consuming basically free mentorship. They were consuming, they were getting help basically for free until they produced a certain outcome. Now, there wasn't enough stress. There wasn't enough pressure on them and monetary stakes on them to perform. As a result, this is one reason why they didn't. And this is why it's important. If you want, you think by being free or cheap that you're actually like saving, you're being gracious, you're being kind, you're being nice and moral and ethical. But really, it's just a race to the bottom, because people who pay cheaply are usually your worst clients. They complain the most, they ask for the most, they don't listen the most. So let's go back to the second student that left and how I dealt with that. The feedback that I got, that I'm going to be completely transparent with you on, because I think I should be, so you guys know that not everything is an amazing client results and people say the best things and people get tattoos of us. There are people who exist who are unsatisfied with me or what we do. Fair enough. When you coach and work with enough people, that's going to exist. You have to deal with disgruntled people who just aren't happy with you and the service you provided. And I'm going to tell you exactly what this young man said. In regards to Trinity, it's not what I expected. I thought there would be a bit more help in terms of everything, getting started. Probably a lot more kind of support and help in terms of getting off the ground. I just felt that was missing. I didn't feel like there was clarity. And that was the feedback for me. And then eventually he said, I just don't feel like running a business is an important priority for me right now, and would prefer to go down the tertiary education route, or continue going the tertiary education route and finish his degree. Okay, fair enough. That's what you want to do. You don't see value in growing your business. If you don't want to grow your business and you don't want to build a skill set in, grow your coaching skill set in functional health, and you don't care about the community and traveling the world and these retreats, it's all right. You've changed your mind. The problem about changing your mind is that it comes with great deals of it comes at a great cost. And so let me go to the feedback. The feedback fucked me up. I have never heard feedback like that in, I don't think, anything that I've done. It hit me for a left hook. And I sat there on the call, really containing myself and just listening, clarifying, and understanding. So when there's some type of feedback that you receive that you just are bewildered by, you're like, it almost feels like someone called you a giraffe. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm a human being. And it feels so incorrect and wrong. Do not become defensive immediately. Listen. And what I did is I listened. I tried to understand and empathize first, because I wanted to understand where he was coming from. And I was, by the end of it, I think I was really bewildered in how this person can come to this conclusion, because there was evidence for the complete contrary, meaning help getting off the ground. Someone says to you, I need more help getting off the ground, then something more hands-on. Someone says to you something that's feels just so fucking wrong. And just transparently, like what type of support you can expect from me. At the time, we had weekly one-on-one calls with me. We had weekly group calls. We have basically direct access to me and our team and our community. You can message basically anytime with a response within 24 to 48 hours. I had guest speakers. I had one millionaire in particular give this young man direct feedback on here's how you can grow your coaching program and your, I'm not going to be too specific, grow your coaching program and help him build an offer structure from a fucking millionaire. Like the Australian Hormozy basically gave him, hey man, here's a little blueprint. I'm like, I was G'd up. I'm like, man, this is it. This is amazing, the advice that you just got. We're going to run with it. Nah. And what I think people, what I notice a lot of people are stuck with, and when clients come to you with this feedback is, unfortunately, a lot of people are stuck in logical fallacies and cognitive distortions. And before I take responsibility for myself, I need to identify something that you will encounter. And that is people will lie to themselves to protect themselves and their own ego from, some people just find it really difficult to take accountability and responsibility. And this is normal for young people to do because you're still maturing and growing up and you haven't had a hard enough life to teach you this yet. And so what I was encountering, I believe, was a complete lack of responsibility and accountability towards their own actions. You said you wanted this and you changed your mind. And this is what stimulated one of my fucking most pissed off, annoyed, frustrated video that I've made on this channel, which was basically, you should quit now. This is what stimulated that video, was I had students leave the program who said they wanted to grow a business and they wanted to do all these things. And then it's, it just got too hard. Oh, this is not what I expected. Yes, this is going to be hard. You think printing money from the sky, changing people's lives, and people giving you their hard-earned money so you can help support them with their health and change their lives, and they pick you out of the whole fucking encyclopedia of the world, is like, that's going to be a simple thing, or that's not going to require great sacrifice. It's going to require great sacrifice, because who the fuck gives a fuck about you? Why should someone pick you? What's so special about you? You have to give people evidence and reasons and create undeniable proof time and time again that you are who you say you are, that you can help people. And you often have to start doing it for free, and you have to charge only a little amount. And then once you get more proof, you can charge a little bit more once your demand increases. And you have to do this time and time again and show up day in and day out, when often you don't see any fucking results. Just like going to the gym and you train for the first 3 months and you can't look in the mirror and you look largely the same. Like, it sucks in the beginning, and then you encounter some other challenges and it sucks some more. And you often, every experience is like a level up, but the experiences are painful often, just like this experience was painful for me. And the expectation versus reality was mismatched here. And so this person thought, all right, and I wanted more hands-on support. I can't give any more hands-on support because there's literally, this program has the most fucking hands-on support of anything that I offer, of anything even available in the fucking world or Australia for a coaching program. So I have to sit here and contain myself, not jumping through the screen and trying to shake this young man awake. So, okay. And it's very easy for all this to happen and for someone to just leave and quit and consume thousands and thousands of dollars of coaching and retreats and free food, fuck me, and consumption for nothing, like for a small deposit, and then they just leave. So now I've invested 5, 10, 15 grand of time and energy and resources. Like, I've paid for shit. Like, I've fed you for like nearly a week and housed you. Here's another lesson. As part of the agreement, if you just abandon your commitments, like if client leaves you, you should have some type of accountability. Now, another mistake that I make is I fucked up and I didn't send this agreement, my Trinity T's and C's agreement, to sign. Like some people didn't sign it. Thankfully, all respect to the first young woman that I described, she paid the exit fee. The exit fee is a multi-$1,000 fee for basically, hey, if you can abandon your commitments, but there's a cost to it because there's significant overheads required to transition you in, transition you out, and support you in the program. All respect to her because she did that. And that speaks to her, and she's an older young woman, so she has more maturity, more respect. And here's the thing, she actually didn't sign the agreement. I fucked up because I didn't send it to her. I only sent one of my agreements, but not the other one. And I fucked up. So I didn't have anything kind of legal or binding to actually hold her accountable. Now, with the other young man, I think I fucked up and I didn't have him sign it. I didn't send it. Or did I? Fuck it, let me check. Oh, see? I fucked up. And this student it only got one of the agreements and not the one that had the monetary accountability to it. So at this point, I'm 5, 10, 15 grand invested into this person already. And they've only paid out whatever, it was a couple grand for the initial deposit, a few grand. So I'm in the negative at this point. And I say, hey, look, man, and I actually mistakenly say that he owed the amount that he's used in the program, but I actually didn't have anything binding to that. And so what I did mention was what was actually written, which is it was a few grand exit fee. So look, man, this is how much is owed because of this and this. And this student had basically no money. He would have to get his parents to support him. He didn't have a meaningful source of income, and I didn't filter right. A lot of you guys are coaching people who are very financially unstable. And if they encounter a challenge and they want to stop coaching with you because of a money problem, you either need to support them by downselling them to another option for them, or you didn't filter right because you're basically selling to poor people, to people who don't have financial stability. And these people can build up enough health and financial stability just by free resources online. They shouldn't need to pay some exorbitant fees for your program or coaching to get them off the ground. Now, the plan was to help this young man grow his business so he could create a financial base for himself. But that did not eventuate for a number of reasons. So I'm in a position where I'm down negative, you're down negative, person can't pay you, you have nothing binding because you fucked up and didn't send the agreement, and your exit fee was too small. So that's another thing I changed. Now, if someone consumes an amount of your program, I wouldn't just have an exit fee. I think people should have to pay for what they've used. So that's now what I've changed to. You pay for what you've used. If you don't want to do this anymore, that's fine. I'm not going to force you, but you have to pay for what you've used because this is a meritocracy and we do what's fair. And you can't just take and leave because I give IP. I give fucking spreadsheets. What are they worth? $7.5 grand in total that people can just take? Like you have to be intelligent about what you give. And the first programs I ran for Trinity, I just gave and gave and gave because I didn't have leverage. So I had to give the most to them. And so it was really a situation where you have to make back the money before you pay. And some people took years to pay it off. And that's something I have to wear. And that put me under great risk. But I understand when the first time you do something, you have the least leverage. Now, the third time we're running Trinity, we have the most leverage. This shit works. If you work it, guys, this thing works. If you don't, it doesn't. And we have enough evidence and proof for that. That's why now I can put in place a program and an agreement that, and you know what? I'm not going to get to my final lessons yet, okay? There's more struggle and fucking shit to happen now. So now I get hit with some really feedback that I do my best not to take personally. This person has no way to pay me back. So I'm like, okay, well, look, we're going to have to revisit this in some time and plan to pay me back in the future. Let's just say it's been nearly a year. And while I have checked on this person just to see how they're going, just on a human level, just human kindness and decency, this person has not paid me a cent on the monies that they have owed, at least to cover basics of what I have invested in them. Would I have done it? Like, just on a base, like, I would like to think on base morality and ethics that restoring the karmic order to God and the universe, that would be the right thing to do. But I had to let it go. You can't hold on to these things. You can't hold on to these things. Otherwise, it ends up being like a poison that only impacts you. And so I accept. I accept that I will never get a cent paid back from all the monies that I've invested into this person and energy and time invested into this person. And that's my fault. That's my responsibility. I took them on. I didn't filter right. And I took on a high-risk individual. So now within this 2-week same period, 2 people have left my program. It's not just the money. How does this look? Fuck me. How am I going to explain this to everybody now? We have 2 people. It's a terrible look on the reputation, on think about it. If you have other people in your team, in your program, and they're committing crimes and they're doing bad shit, it's like an infection. It can start to seep to other people and it can start to drop the morale of the group. They can start to question and doubt. I don't want anybody question and doubt whether this is an investment that they should, whether it's an investment that they should second guess. And that starts to take up my mind. I'm like, fuck, I wonder how this is going to be perceived. So I'll tell you how I handle that in a second, because I'm thinking, all right, if this happens again, this is 2 people out of the 9. And it happens again. A 3rd person comes to me, coaching this beautiful young woman who I think has a lot of hope and potential to be a really amazing coach. And again, the mistake was made. 2 mistakes. Only she was on a debit, only quite a small amount, though, and only very recent. Didn't sign the agreement as well because I fucked up again. Now, I didn't fuck up with everybody, but I fucked up with enough people. Early red flags. She doesn't want to engage in one of the most important parts of our experience, which is the retreat. Doesn't think she'll be able to come. Why? Fear of safety around travel. What if the plane crashes and it's not safe? Planes were crashing, even though flying is significantly safer than driving, but that's okay. Partner at the time wasn't happy, a bit concerned for her safety. And that was where the seeds of it began. Started not to engage as much, responding slower on messages, just helping you guys out to know what you can say. Wasn't commenting as much in our group chats, really starting to pull back and disengage. Wasn't in calls as much. And so she was going through some challenges in her relationship at the time. So then I get my girl involved, because my girl, Danielle, helps support the students in Trinity. She did this for free and gave up her own time to support. And I was doing everything I could to support this young woman go through the difficulties and struggles that she was going through. This is the most bizarre reason. I've never experienced this in my life. This person, my student, her partner at the time, was starting to not feel very fond of her involvement in Trinity and our mentorship. Now I'm really skirting around the fucking edges right now and skipping over a lot of details that one day I may tell. But let's just say it may have gotten personal, all right? Maybe some personal things may or may not have been said, not from this student who I actually have a positive general relationship with, but maybe with her partner, perhaps. And Perhaps some personal things were said about my grandfather, the man that I named this whole fucking business after. I'll leave that for now. Now, because significantly because her partner at the time was not, did not want her to be involved in Trinity anymore. Now, why wouldn't someone's partner not want to support her in a program that is there to support them become a great person and grow their business and just become an amazing person and grow themselves in that way that they wanted to? And it really fucked me up because it felt like I was completely out of control and that, she was being influenced by a third party to disengage from what I thought would be in her best interest to continue. Now, this wasn't said over a call. No, this was said over a message. Now, here's the other thing. It can be hard to receive messages when clients want to cancel and stop, but you have to be prepared for it. And so I recommend that when you guys, in your agreements, in your conversations with your clients, that you tend to have these conversations over calls, because handling client cancellations over messages is difficult. You're never going to convince somebody over a message. And so, but nevertheless, a long message was sent to me. And this person actually had really positive, amazing things to say about Trinity and and the retreat experience in the past. And she couldn't wait to see how she would grow and what it's going to be like by the end of this. And when I watch back that footage, it really fucks me up a little bit every time, knowing that this person was like a flower that was blossoming. And she really had such a beautiful, bright future ahead of her. And that was not to be eventuated. And it's sad. It's sad. I wish I can get into the details of it. I just, out of respect for her, and I'm not. In full transparency, I communicated that there will be an exit fee, naturally. But the problem was she hadn't signed any agreement. And so there was nothing to hold her to it except morality and ethics, like the first student. And I made a comment that fortunately her partner, I'm sure, would be able to support her, because this student was not the most financially stable. I didn't know if she would have the money to be able to pay the exit fee. So, fortunately, your partner being a provider for you, which from my understanding he was, shouldn't be an issue. Now, I made that comment, and that comment energetically, when I wrote it down, I wrote it down. You know when you make those comments just out of like a little bit of like ego and a little bit of in vain? It's like you're a little bit pissed off and you are almost trying to like send a message. Well, that's kind of that comment, while it sounds maybe fine to you, actually came from a bit of that energy. And I was admittedly, when I received that long message, I was really being tested, because this is the third fucking student in 2 weeks who's going to leave the program. I'm like, when it rains, it motherfucking pours. And it's not because we fucked up and we did something wrong and we didn't fulfill our end of the agreement. It's because I can't even fucking tell you really the deeper reason, because frankly, I don't even fucking know, like, the behind the scene conversations of why this partner influenced this amazing young woman student in this light, in this direction. Okay. But that was what I said, and it wasn't taken well. And I may have received an email from the partner at the time, who wrote me an email that personally attacked my character and myself. I didn't respond because I don't engage in fuckery like that. And unfortunately, partly because that was taken, that comment was taken personally, even though I took responsibility and I apologized for the comment or the suggestion that I made because she felt it was inappropriate. Took responsibility and apologized. That did not really help too much because this student hadn't signed the document. She was under no legal obligation to pay her exit fee. And that is also perhaps what her partner suggested as well. You might think doing the right thing is always the right thing. Well, while I admit perhaps that personal comment came from a place of emotion, I take responsibility for that and the effects it may have had. You have to understand that some people will not do what you deem to be right. Your morals and ethics deem to be right. And that some people require a legally signed document to do what you deem to be the right thing. This student got sent a document, the wrong document, a document for my alumni program, which I believe she may have signed, but may not have read because it did not make fucking sense for this student to sign and read that document and not say anything, but they didn't. This student left the program and I sent a few messages of kindness, of support. I did not and have not heard anything back in the year that it's been, nor have I received money, reparations, if you will, and I do not expect to. But perhaps a response would be nice. It's not to be. Trinity is a high-ticket program. This is not a few grand for a client. This is a high-ticket program that enables people the opportunity and environment and lessons and structure to be able to grow, $100,000 plus business in their first 12 months if they really take action on the shit that we tell them. The amount of money that can be recouped from the investment that they make is very large in perpetuity, compounding over many years. And so the equivalent investment is not small, but it is extremely fair. So the number, when I say I lost $144,000 in contractual, what I refer to is contractual revenue and referral revenue, and I probably didn't even account for the amount of money that I invested as well. Now, at the time of me losing these 3 students, it's not just the monetary, it's the emotional toll and toil that it takes when you spend hours and hours of conversation with people, trying to hear them, support them, and help them see past their own distortions and limitations that they may be making a grave mistake for their own future. Not because you're trying to take their money or trying to keep them in the program to make money, but because you genuinely believe that their life would be better if they were in an environment like this. And so within that 2-week period, one after the other, and at the same time, because you've invested so much in your life, my life is not cheap to run. I support my partner in paying for basically everything, and that is a responsibility that I take, that I've worked very hard to be able to do. Now, that costs a certain amount, and then also me running these retreats and preparing for these retreats costs a large amount as well. Now, at the time, I run my business on my credit cards, and at the time, I had accumulated an amount of debt that nearly equated to $100,000. So not only had I lost 3, and I'd never run my business to this level of risk, danger, and aggressiveness. The retreats that I put these credit cards on, I was really like, this is the biggest retreat yet. This was that Vietnam retreat. I'd gone hard. Tens and tens of thousands of dollars had been invested here into this retreat. Okay. And often, and I'm not going to recoup these monies yet until my students, all of my students have hit the milestones in their agreements that they have agreed to. It's like, okay, once you get back your first 4 clients, you pay this. 5 clients, you pay this. 7 clients, you pay this. I had a milestone agreement. I thought it was really fair. I thought, what a clever idea that I worked on with the previous mentor. And it sounded really great. But the problem was, it wasn't great for a certain amount of people. What type of people? The type of people that don't want to grow a fucking business. The type of people that realize that maybe growing a business isn't for them. It's not the only value that Trinity can provide for them. This is the thing that I realized, that my program, Trinity, should not be based purely on monetary and business metrics. There is so much more that you can offer as a professional, that I could offer as a professional in the program. And then I realized, and I credit Jimena, she taught me this, as well as a few of the other students, like, oh my God, the value that they got was so much more than the money they could make. And then I realized this, but I need to back up where I'm getting ahead of myself. 3 students lost $100,000+ gone, $100,000 in debt. Now I'm looking at this, and at the time my partner didn't know the credit card debt that I'm in. I protected her from the level of stress involved in handling that. But she knew about the students leaving. Of course she did. And so when that 3rd student left, I remember it felt like so much pressure had been building. And we'd gone from 9 to 6. A third of the group was gone. And I started to question, like, is this shit all really worth it? Can I really do this? I remember finishing that call with that young male student who gave me that feedback of, like, didn't feel supported. And I took that to heart. I'm like, fuck you. Fuck you. That's a bunch of bullshit. We both know that. And it felt like a betrayal. It felt like, how dare you say that? After everything we've given, after everything everybody's given to you, you guys just want to leave? Abandon your commitments? And not even have the fucking integrity to pay your dues or to tell me over a call? All right. And I remember going downstairs, and we're living an expensive lifestyle in Indonesia at this point. This shit ain't as cheap as you think. And it's just like all these things had built up. All these things have been building up. I didn't even want to be in the fucking country anyway. So I've been kind of semi-pissed off most days. Like that, why I don't even want to be in fucking Bali. I want to be back in New York. It's like that. Students leaving. $5,000 a month for this villa in this kind of shitty environment. Having a semi-existential crisis, questioning purpose and meaning of life, and like what the fuck the point of training is. Like all these things building. I go downstairs, Danielle, and yeah, I just break down. And she holds me. In her feminine, warm, loving embrace. Yeah, we're going to get through this. It's going to be okay. I just feel like, fuck, what am I going to do? What does this mean for me? Is anybody else going to leave? How much money can I afford to lose here? This shit kept me up at night. You guys don't understand. And this is when I'm like, is this fucking shit worth it? Like, I'm waking up at 4 a.m. for these calls in a different time zone. I'm losing sleep over this shit. I'm pouring my heart and soul into this. And I just like, what the fuck this? Fuck this. Now, I have a commitment that I've made to all of you. So I know I can't do that because I made a commitment and it is my job and duty to keep my fucking word. So I wipe the tears from my face. I take a breath and I keep going. Because let me tell you, weaker men would have given the fuck up. Weaker men would have quit. Some even weaker men would have fucking killed themselves with the amount of stress and pressure and deprivation that I felt like I was under week after week after week. Because at this point, I had been investing so much into this Trinity 2.0 crew. And I felt the pressure of like, guys, come on, we got to get clients. You got to get your business up. Come on, like, okay, what other support do you need? How can I help you? Like, and I'm overextending myself in every capacity. Okay, how are we going? What are we doing? All right, we got to work through this. Another half an hour on calls with you, more than you need. Hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. Okay, I'm going to bring in this guy to help you, this girl to help you. To no avail or to little avail. For some people, it was amazing. For other people, it wasn't so much. And then I realized I have created a structure in my business that serves to destroy me. I thought I was being fair and overly fair to them. In fact, it was the opposite. So at the time, I had students who were paying very little, if anything. The 3 that left weren't the only ones. And so I had to restructure the program as I was in it, which was very challenging. But I did it. And I had realized we had to get people to pay for this fucking thing so I could recoup the monies I had invested and they could actually be more committed. So I had to have a few hard conversations with some people. Like, hey, you have to pay for this thing. I know we have this agreement, and in spite of this agreement, here's what this means and here's what has to change from here. Because some people don't want to grow their business. That's okay. I realized Trinity had to change. It can't be something that is purely based, its value is based on whether you make money. Some people are not as driven by that. Some people perceive value and their value is taken elsewhere. So now I had to learn the hard lesson. You know when the payments and investments for Trinity start? On day fucking 1. And if that's not possible for you, then you can't join. We have to figure something amicable and fair out, because otherwise it kills me. You can't have the fucking program work because the director, the owner, the person driving it chops off their arm to give to you so you can have a third arm to help your life function, but now I got no fucking arm. And that's not your fault, that's my fault, that's my responsibility. So I had to create a structure that was, and this is now the 3rd iteration of Trinity, it works like other programs. Like, no wonder every other program out there works like, it's not me do the work, then you pay. It's you pay at this agreed time point and you do the work and we do the work together. So it's a very hard lesson that I learned. And I understand now why stupid rules exist. You know, when you go into like a gym and there's like no smoothies, no drinks, no food. Like, why? The fuck, it's a gym. We'll bring my protein smoothie. Because some dumb fuck spilt their smoothie on the $4,000 treadmill. Now I have all types of fucking agreements and expectations that seem like what the bizarre. Like, why do you have that? Because a motherfucker spilt their smoothie on the $4,000 treadmill and I had to pay for that shit. Not just in money, but in toil. My responsibility, no, my fault. I didn't have that from the start, but I get it now. I get why stupid rules exist. I get why you can't have your dog off the leash in some parks is because some toddler got attacked. All right, you fucked it up. You fucked it up. You didn't control your dog. You fucked it up. I fucked it up. So now I got to put these constraints in place. And these constraints and boundaries actually allow people to thrive better. They allow society and a given culture to function better. So you think less rules is better. You need boundaries, constraints, and structure in order to create predictable outcomes. And it's not about being tyrannical. It's about being orderly. It's about accountability, responsibility, and creating stakes. Why didn't I kill myself? I know why. It actually wasn't my family. It wasn't my partner. It was I, under all of that pressure, I can barely describe to you. Like, think of like some of your darkest days, like that shit. It wasn't just money, it was everything compounding in like a singular, like built up moments. And I think I didn't kill myself because, or go to that extent, because I knew they were counting on me. I knew you guys were counting on me to embody the person that I said I was, to embody and you guys were counting on me to be there for you, to support you in your dark times. And I would hate to betray you. I would feel like I'd be betraying you, and like it would be such a betrayal of what you believed in. You guys have believed in me so much to support you. You guys have committed to me and this experience so much. What a betrayal it would be in how much faith you have of me and everything that I stand for me to go and do something like that. I feel like I would be betraying you all. So I couldn't. And I couldn't give up for the same reason. I couldn't quit for the same reason. I had a greater duty to all of you, to God, to my ancestors, to keep going, to my partner. I had to keep going. I had a duty above the difficulty of the challenges in front of me. And in the hardest times, I remind myself, the harder it is, the greater the story. I didn't say this to myself at the time, but it's something I understand now. The harder it is, the greater the fucking story. Y'all want to be superheroes. You guys want to be the types of people that can live your dream life. Do you know what that person needs to become that person to live that dream life? They need pain. They need the scars. They need the hardship. The harder it is, the better the reward is coming. So I now have that in my body and soul. The harder it is, the better the story. And you know what life is? Life is a story. You know, when people tell you things, you know, when you're really captivated by something, it's a fucking story, just like this whole fucking video is and conversation is. It's a story. It's a story of one of my hardest business lessons. It's a story of the most amount of money I've lost in a shorter period of time. More money than some of you fucking make. More money than you guys make and spend, I lost in 2 weeks. And I kept my composure. Some of you had no idea all of you had no idea this was happening. Now, some of you may be able to detect a disturbance in the force. something feels a bit off. But you didn't know. You didn't know the turmoil. You didn't know the despair and the suffering and the pain and the wrestling where soul meets bone. You didn't know. It's not for me to let you know. I have a responsibility and duty, and you have a responsibility and duty to be there for your people. Okay, they're counting on you. How dare you fucking think about that shit? What? Oh, you want to kill yourself? Shut the fuck up. Get the fuck back to work. The fuck? You owe it to them. You owe it to your people. You won't quit? Or have your fucking cry, hug your girl, absorb her feminine force, go watch some motivational shit, and get the fuck back to work. No one gives a fuck. No one is coming to save you. You and your connection to God and the universe and your ancestors and whatever you believe in is going to keep you going. And your duty. You can turn the lights out. Your lights are going to turn out anyway in 80 years. It's going to happen anyway. You're going to kill yourself anyway because God's going to kill you. Because all energy is only borrowed. So it's going to happen. There's no point doing it now. You might as well see what the fuck this life can really be for and what this life is really about. And see what beauty you can create. So the harder it is, the greater the story. And you know what I realize life is? Anytime I listen to my elders speak, what do they tell me? Stories. I realize, what the fuck am I doing? When you're trying to decide between like, oh, should I save the money? Should I stay here or do this? Should I go to path A or path B? Like, you're all a bunch of pussies. Like, the answer is greatest danger, greatest risk. That's it. Like, I'm not sure I move back to New York or stay here. What the fuck? New York, of course. Of course. That's where the path of greatest danger and risk is. You guys think moving to fucking Bali, Indonesia, oh, Southeast Asian country, let's move to Bali and run our online business. Bro, shut the fuck up. Bali is easy mode. Great. Like, I see these guys open businesses in Bali. Like, fuck. You know how much more you're going to pay in like poor labor, infrastructure, poor like medical costs of like poor hospitals? Like, Bali's easy mode. Don't be a pussy. Go to hard mode. Like fucking Russia. Like, go to an expensive city. Sydney's expensive as fuck. It's kind of dumb to live there because Australia's like, it's not that great. It's great. It's not that great. Like, it's cool. Fine. It's nice. I'm grateful to live here. Like New York, to me, that's very hard mode. Okay, I'm going to take my AUD, I'm going to cut it in half, send it to USD. Ooh, 50% decrease in income. Let's go. Or 40%. Let's go. Okay, what else? Well, we have a lot of crime here. Oh, you mean one day you be on the subway and guys just spaz out at you and like you look at him one more time, it's gonna be on. You gonna fight? That's what happens. I'm telling you a story of like what happened. I'm on the subway. I'm waiting at my station. I look at a guy. I'm always looking. He screams at me. Do I fucking know you? Do I know you? Okay. So you're 5 meters away from me. You're screaming at me in a deranged manner. All right, so let me just take my headphones off, put my bag down. All right, so I do that. I'm getting ready because if I'm watching from my peripheral, if I look at you again, we might be fighting. My heart rate's raising. Okay. Breath. All right. Phone down. Watch this guy. And that's like one of like 5 stories that I have of like that. Okay. I don't really want to fight a deranged, mentally ill man on my way to boxing. I'd rather just learn to fight in boxing in a controlled manner. I'm not the tough guy. I'm not trying to be some fucking tough guy beating up or not. Like maybe as a weapon. Do some dumb shit like that. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. So that's hard mode. It's like you don't go on a public transport in Dubai or most cities and that shit is a frequent. And you're hearing shootings from apartment. Frequently. Anyway, so that's what I'm saying. Like the path, the greatest story is one of danger. So I didn't know it at the time, but I know it now that in my hardest times, that is when my superhero shit is being created. When I get concussed from fighting what's he, like 300 pounds? A much more experienced fighter than me, 300 pounds, right hooks me, I think. Didn't even hit me that hard, just perfect placement and rattled me. All right. Story. Like not the greatest story because I think it may have changed my mental faculties and in some way, but fuck it. Not fuck it as in dumb, but fuck it as in you need to take some risks to get some reward. And you guys are scared of fucking like what? Putting some money into like a mentorship? Like not even mine, like anybody. Like, oh, it's too expensive to do the thing, to go here, to go this, to do this. What are you, a fucking coward? You could just go live with your family if you go to zero. Like, okay, what are you so afraid of? Oh, afraid of losing my money and having no money. So you get a job. You go move in with your family. You go on Centrelink. Like, you do understand, like, the government in Australia has financial aid so you never have to be without, right? You know you can just get like $500 to like $800 a week by doing nothing if you don't have a job and you're like, or you're studying. The government just give you money. Like, what are you so afraid of? Like, you're that much of a fucking coward that, don't you realize that you can just pay your money to get everything you want in life? Like, you can just pay, well, you're paying time, you're paying money. That's one of the biggest lessons. You're paying time, paying money. I'm going to pay in fucking money. Here you go. Reese, he's 30 grand. By the way, it's more expensive now. Don't expect him to be 30 grand anymore. Can't tell you what he is, but he's more. Here you go, Hormozy. Here's, what was he? 200? I think. A couple hundred. Like, you could just pay in time or money. You guys want to pay in time, but you should be way more fucking scared of paying in time because time is finite. You're going to die, bro. You're going to die. You don't know when. I don't know why all of you fucking think you're going to live to 75 and 80 and you think those later years of your life are going to be like great. You're basically half dead. You are basically half dead. I'm 30 now. I'm basically half dead. I'm going all fucking out. 100,000 in debt? No problem. Lost 100,000? No problem. Give me all the smoke. I'm going all out because I'm half dead. So I might as well go to the fight, compete, spend all the money, buy the property, take the risk, go on the adventure of life. Oh, I don't know if it's the right time for me. Pussy. It's not going to be the right time for you. Yeah, you're not meant for this life. Maybe in the next life, you're going to do something special. Not in this life with that fucking attitude. The greatest stories, the ones you admire. Why do you like a war story? Why do you like a horror story? Why do you like the fucking stories like this? It's because they have risk. They have adventure. Someone puts it on the line. But you're not you. Not you. You expect to live a great life and have a dream life and do all these great things, but you're not willing to take some fucking risk. You're not willing to put some skin in the game. You should spend all the time, you spend all the money, put it all down on red. If you believe in it, and if you think it's going to get you the outcome you want, and if it doesn't, you just try again. Because you're only a certain amount of failures. If I told you you're only like 78 failures away from everything you want, you would run towards those fucking failures. But here's the thing about life. You don't know how many there are. You don't know how many failures you're away from everything you want, from the dream girl, the dream guy, the dream life. You don't know. But you're sitting here pontificating, waiting for the day. Oh, I don't know. Maybe. Oh, next year. Oh, next week. Until I get more money, until I do this. You are just delaying everything in life. You're delaying everything. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen in the safety of your four walls. You must go out of where you are. You must put yourself in the dangerous path. You must pick up your sword and fight and put everything you have towards it. And so what I came on the other side of hundreds of thousands of dollars of lost money was a lot of lessons, a great story, and now Trinity is so much better, and I'm so much better because now I have the mental fortitude and much more courage. I learned powerful lessons around money. The goal of money is to spend and use it. And that when you have a fear, you want to expand it, play it out. Okay, what happens if you lose the money? Because I encountered that. Hundreds of thousands, gone. I'm like, fuck, what's the worst case that happens here? What's the worst case that happens here? All right, like play it out. If you play it out, you actually gain a lot more control over your fears. Your fears turn from like massive monsters, dragons, into like little cartoon fluffy dolls. Okay, I moved back in with my parents. You move back in with your parents. You don't have to pay rent. Okay, you don't have parents. Cool, let's just say that. Do you have a friend? Do you have a best friend? Do you have someone who would be there for you? Anyone. One person. Well, if you know me, you do. Because any one of my Trinity students can call me, say, bro, I'm going to be homeless next week. And I wouldn't fucking hesitate. I got you. I wouldn't fucking hesitate. So knowing me gives you a great deal of power. Congratulations. Do you have a best friend? Do you have someone that you can sleep on their couch? Of course you fucking do. I know people much poorer than you in much worse circumstances who are surviving. What are you scared of? Like couch surfing? What are you, fucking gay? Couch surfing. Oh, I have to sleep on somebody's couch. What the fuck? Oh, I have to look online and split rent with somebody on flatmates.com. Bro, do you hear yourself? What the fuck? What, you can't get I have to get a part-time job. Motherfucker, I had 7 shitty jobs when I was 15 to 20. From $0 to $10 to $20 an hour. That was back then, 15 years ago. Now the minimum wage is much, but what are you scared of getting a job? Okay, you get a part-time job, so what? What the fuck? Get the job. At least you now have predictable fucking income. Like you turn a dragon into a puppy. You motherfuckers are turning puppies into dragons. Play out the fear and you realize that thing is so much smaller than you play it out to be in your mind. And then you get courage because you're like, fuck it. Oh, what the fuck's the worst thing that's happened? All right, I go for it. I learn. And now I'm just closer anyway. It's so fucking trite and cliche. I know you learn the lesson from failure. You have to understand that, oh my God, it's like a ladder. You're going up the ladder. You don't know how many steps you have to walk up the ladder. But each step, some of it is painful. It's like you step on a nail. And some of it is a clear step. But you can, to get to the way you want to get to, you have to press through some fucking nails. I don't know how to play it out to you guys. Fucker. You got to expand the fear, play it out. And you also attract what you fear. If you fear losing money, you are much more likely to lose money. And some of you are bitch fucking made with money. You've adopted your parents' beliefs, your family's beliefs, and you're just so scared, like of fucking paper. Like, you know it's all made up, right? Like, if you actually start to learn about money, you realize it's the biggest fucking fugazi once we decoupled from gold. Money, if you believe money is hard to make, this is all a lesson about your relationship with money and fear. If you believe money is hard to make, if you believe it's scarce, if you adopt the belief systems of your family, then you're fucked. No, actually, you can't believe what I just said. You're not fucked because you can re-engineer your own belief systems. Guys, let me tell you how fucked my relationship with money was. Now, I just told you I lost all this money and I can gain all the hundreds of thousands of dollars back that I have since, right? Let me tell you how fucked my relationship with money was. I had no concept of how to make money when I was young. I wrote down on a piece of paper after reading Napoleon's Hill, Think and Grow Rich. I'm like, I'm going to make $75,000 a year. Like, I'm going to do that. That was like a fucking thing for me. Once I started to re-establish my relationship with money, I'm like, 75,000 was like a huge amount to me. And I did it. I'm like, oh my God, I did it. Before then, do you know what it was? I had no concept of a belief of whether I could make like money, like millionaires, like people with Porsches and Lamborghinis. I'm like, I have no idea how the fuck you did that. It was like a different language. It's like you're speaking fucking Chinese to me, Mandarin to me, Ni hao, Zaijian. I don't know. Marafsh. I don't know. I'm like, fuck. How the fuck am I going to make money? Like, how am I going to support myself? How am I going to move out? How am I going to like buy a house? Like basic dumb shit, right? And I'm like, fuck. Swear to God, this is what I thought. The only way I'm going to make money is when I inherit the money and assets after my parents die. I swear to God, I thought my parents are going to have to die and I'm going to have to inherit money because I don't know how to do this. So now there's a fucked up part of my brain that's like, I wonder if they'll die earlier. They're not very healthy. I wonder if they'll die earlier so I can get some money earlier. Just totally honest with you. I know it's a fucked up thing to think. And I'm not trying to, like, I don't wish it upon them, obviously. But like selfishly, I'm like, oh, cool. Maybe I could get, they got some assets. They've worked really hard. I'll just inherit theirs. Like fucked up. And I had this broke, poor mindset. Like this is why you have to understand, like the conception of like killing myself or like over losing this amount of money and being this amount of debt is like not too far because I came from the mindset of it being impossible to make money. And now I have made, I'm in like 1 in 300 people, the amount of money that I can make per year. I'm like a 1 in 300 person, let alone a 1 in 300 person for my age. I'm probably like 1 in 500, 1 in 1,000. And I thank God for that. But I've also restructured myself from fucking poverty mindset. And if I can restructure myself from poverty mindset, guys, I was so scarce around money. I was so selfish. I didn't even like when people took food off my plate because I'm like, this is money I've spent on this $15 of food. Don't touch my food. I would get really angry and upset when people would like take things from me, like clothes. When I lost a piece of clothing, when someone would take something and I'd feel like, fuck. Oh, I don't have much of that. And I'd feel like so, and I'd hold it close to me. Don't touch it. Don't take my food. Don't take my clothes. Don't take my things. Oh, I lost the thing. Damn it. I got a parking fine. Fuck, $120. A $500 fine. Fuck. And it would fuck me up. It would fuck me up. I would try and rely on my parents when I was young to help pay for things. And I try and be like conniving about it. Not conniving, but I try and be like suggestive. I kind of let them pay for things when I was still kind of just being a bitch. This is because I just had a poor relationship and I try and like take things from people. I learned to manipulate. I could be a really good manipulator, but I do my best to have much better morality now because I watched a lot of manipulation growing up. So I could learn how to like get deals and I'd steal things and, because I just poor-minded, scarce-minded. And how did I get from that to this? I had to work on my mind and my belief systems and my self-talk. I had to really start to self-hypnotize myself that I could do it. I had to listen to a lot of things like this to start to believe and start to see other people who are like me, who have gone from like shit to like good to great. I had to see examples of it. Oh, this is possible. I can do this. I can do this. I know I can do it. And I couldn't get to the I can do this belief before I had to see examples of people who did it. Or I had to like start to self-hypnotize myself. Like I listened to a lot of fucking motivational shit. I was not in a good environment growing up. I really escaped in my environment through plugging in my headphones. Like if you're not in a good environment, I get it. You have to plug in your headphones and just listen constantly to just positivity and uplifting, empowering shit. Whether it's masculine motivation playlists, whether it's fucking, I listen to a lot of podcasts on entrepreneurship and self-development, and I would just obsess. And day by day, week by week, I would start to take action from these things. I'd read books. Like Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. That helped me. I listened to mentors, like Brandon Carter was an influential young mentor of mine, and I listened to his podcast. Okay, what books did he recommend? Okay, he recommended this book. I'm going to read it. Okay, I'm going to listen to this podcast. Okay, he says do this. Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to train. I'm going to work on myself. And you just chip away at yourself. You carve yourself like an uncarved block and you just work at it every day. And you start from nothing. And all you have in the beginning is like piss and vinegar. All you have in the beginning is nothing. Okay? You don't have motivation. You just have like borrowed motivation from other people. You have people yelling at you, like, do something. Get up. Get after it. Today. Right now. Like right now I'm doing to you. If you don't have much, all you have is this. You have to take my energy and you have to use it to overcome your inertia, your resistance to motion. You have to use it. And then you have to try and plug in again to get some more again. And then you get some early wins. And once you get your first early win, you're like, okay, whoa. I just made some money. And I started to do that. I made something from nothing. I made an e-commerce store on Etsy. I really love music and hip hop. So maybe I want to create this poster for myself, but it's not available online. I wanted to make a poster. Okay. I made a poster for myself of Kanye West's Runaway. One of my favorite songs, and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, one of the best hip hop albums of all time. It's a masterpiece. I want to make this poster. I made it for myself, and I thought, wait, I could sell this. I already knew about Etsy, like a boutique e-commerce store. I can sell this. I find a distributor to make posters. Like, how can I make posters? I need a cylinder. I need to wrap it. How do I make labels? I go to the postal website. Okay, I search and next thing I know it, I have a store. And I have my first sale. And all I needed was one. All I needed was one sale. And then I knew, and I'm about 17 at the time. You motherfuckers think that coaching's my only motherfucking business. I had businesses beforehand, man. Serial entrepreneur. Now, it's not much, right? I'm not trying to say I'm some fucking big boss making 7, 8, 9 figures like fucking Stephen Bartlett on some of these young guys, man. I'm just like, fuck. You did 8, 9, 10 figures at your age? Fuck you. Fuck you. I'm grinding it the hard way. And I'm not trying to say I'm better because in some ways I'm not, in some ways I am. But it's like, man, it's hard mode when it takes this long, when you have 25-year-olds and 21-year-olds making millions of dollars off fucking Bitcoin. But you have to kind of fuck the noise. I'll fuck them up. I really take a lot of solace. If you want to know what I take solace in? Knowing I have the courage enough to overcome my fear of fighting, sparring, boxing, and now wrestling. Like, I take solace in that. Maybe it's a bit of ego. Probably it is a bit of masculine ego, of course. But I take solace in the fact that you can keep your money because I have my courage. And I'll continue to work on that because there's much more to do there. But nevertheless, comparison is the thief of joy. And only compare if you can use that fuel to put into your own self to drive you. So anyway, I have my fucking store, right? And right now I just compared myself to like the Bitcoin millionaire at 18 years old. But fuck him. I'll fuck him up. And I think wealth without character only serves to destroy your soul. So I think maybe God is saving me from that because perhaps I would have turned into a hedonistic animal like a Dan Bilzerian because I am quite handsome. Anyway, so perhaps God is saving me from that. You must create a story, fabricate it to your own narrative. Anyway, so I have this Etsy store and I made my first sale and like I sell it for like $50. So I made like a $20 profit. Like, holy shit. And then sales starts coming, it builds, momentum builds. I start to sell other products and other posts, and I realize if I sell something like based off a popular album, it gets more traction because people are searching for it. Okay, what is already being sold? What's popular? Okay, store builds. I make tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars. I might make an extra 30, 40, 50, 60, 70K. I'm charging in USD as well. Now, posters are coming in. I have a fucking line of posters in my house, in my room. My parents don't even know I'm doing this. No one knows I'm doing this. I'm making some money. I'm making a part-time salary to a full-time salary from online business that I just fabricated and made. Okay, cool. And now I have like fucking 20, 30 posts that go to the post office. I post them out. Cool. Yeah, nice. Like I see a little cha-ching on my phone. It makes a sound when someone makes a sale. Fuck yeah, I made some money. But maybe, what's the profit margin? I don't know, 50, 60%? Okay, dope. Oh, shit. You know what happens next? The store gets shut down. Copyright. Oh, is that a thing for this stuff? Damn. Let me remember how I told you about like the manipulative side of me? Like, I'm a bit more disagreeable. Start the store again. A different name this time. Sell that shit. If you want to know which artists don't like it, The Weeknd and Beyonce, they will come after your ass. Some of the others, you can get away with it a little bit. So anyway, I tried again. I want to make money. I want to create some shit that doesn't exist. I'm actually creating a demand in a product that people have a natural desire for. Sell some t-shirts, sell some posters, do it again. Then I realized, you know what? There's actually something else I want to do. And then I go into more of my actual profession now to this day. But I start this business and I make over $100,000. Make over $100,000 doing this shit. I have to look at the spreadsheet to see how much, but over 100. I'm like, oh shit. So I turned myself from nothing and like complete poverty mindset, being like, you know what? I can make some money. And I do make some money. And then it starts to change my mindset because I had proof and evidence. And that was one of a few different businesses that I made. And so like I was making money off YouTube, like thousands. I made tens of thousands of dollars actually off YouTube. And so I realized that I could do it. And now I have so much belief in myself that I can do it. But it all started from borrowing belief and inspiration from other people and changing the fabric of my mind one day at a time. The point of this story is inevitably when hardship comes your way, when you lose the money, you must remind yourself that this is the point in the story that the superhero starts to become the superhero. Batman doesn't become Batman until they kill his parents. He doesn't become Batman if his parents don't die. There's a dramatic way of saying hardship comes before the person you want to be. The breakdown happens before the breakthrough. You understand? So when hardship comes your way, you lose the clients, you lose the money, you're like, fuck, can I do this? You injure yourself, whatever happens. You are being sent a lesson from God and the universe, and it's a path. And you either choose to walk it or you don't, and you're being tested. You're being tested because God is trying to see if you're going to be one of his favorites. If you're really about this life, and not everybody is. Not everybody is. Not everybody makes it. Not everybody is supposed to make it. Not everybody can make it. So when that hardship comes, I want you to remind yourself, this is where you become the superhero. This is, the harder it is, the greater the story. The harder it is, the greater the story. And so when then you start looking for the hard, when you really start to go for it, you start looking for the hard. It's like, okay, how much is that? Shit, that much? All right. That sounds hard. But I don't know how I'm going to do that. I don't know how I'm going to pay for that. I'm going to figure it out. Good. That's hard. Are you going to move where? Are you going to move out of your town that you grew up in, that you're really comfortable in? And you got to pay rent now. And you got to leave the girl or the guy back home who you love, but you know is not for you. That's hard. You got to, fuck. I'm saying fuck because I know I got to continually listen to my own advice. That's the hard thing about these things is like I have to epitomize it. So I have to do some even harder shit now because I'm saying this. So I'm cementing this in your soul right now. When it gets hard, you need to thank God for it because he is gifting you with the greatest of presents. And I didn't realize that at the time, in the hardship and pain and ache, as I'm staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m. thinking, fuck, another student just left. And you know what? How do I keep everybody together? Because I got to go to now all my students in my group and my community, and I got to go to my family. That's what I call them. And I got to go in a call and I run an emergency meeting with everybody. I run an emergency meeting with the Trinity crew, right? I'm like, guys, this is what's happened. And I have to hold the space saying, we've had 3 students leave in these few weeks. I'm calling all of you right now. If you are in, you are in. If you are out, get the fuck out. This is not a game. I have my full heart and energy in this for all of you. You must do the same for yourself. I got everybody's confirmation in. I fixed up all the agreements, and people doubled down, and that fucking intake rocked. And then by the time we had our last retreat in Thailand, we had our alumni and OG students come together. That was a fucking solid crew. And you know what? Those other people weren't supposed to be there. And I hope they feel the lesson of regret in their heart, because sometimes the lesson of regret is the lesson that you actually need to learn. And I know what that's like, because I've done my own shit like that. I've regretted things before, and that's the hard pill to swallow in life. But that's the lesson. And you need to sometimes learn. You can learn it the hard way or the harder way. You can either listen to what the fuck I'm saying, or you can let life teach you the hardest way. Up to you. I'm telling you. You want an easy life. To get an easy life, you have to have a hard life first. The time is now. You're not like, how do I get this across to you if I haven't already? Oh, they say that time is finite and short, but that never really hit me. That never really hit me until I was like, I'm 30 now. Like, fuck. Here I am. What I can reiterate for the 7th time down your soul is smile when it gets hard. It doesn't matter if the smile is real. Smile when it gets hard. You can see me with sparring footage on this channel. When the motherfuckers hit me, I smile a little bit sometimes. Okay. Let's go. When it gets hard, that is when you're being built. That is the story. Because if you don't pick the hard path, you sit on the fucking rocking chair when you're 70 and 80, and actually fuck you, because you don't even give a fuck about when you're 70 and 80. Let me tell you something. You want to go to a party and you want to be the life of the party, or you want to actually impress yourself or the girl or just anybody. You guys wonder what the fuck to post about online. You know why you have nothing to post about? Because you're fucking boring. You have no story. No one is impressed by you. Fuck your 70-year-old rocking chair talking to your grandchildren. That shit doesn't motivate you enough. You want to know what should motivate you? No one's impressed by you. You have no story. You know who one of my students, Matan, that motherfucker's got a story. Moved from war-torn fucking Israel to Amsterdam. His motherfucking environment was getting bombed. He's sending me photos. He's doing Trinity. This motherfucker has every reason to not invest in one of the most expensive programs in Australia for coaches. He doesn't even live here. He's going to fly here to retreats. His city is being bombed. And you're scared about losing money? Is this going to work for me? That's why you ain't got it. That's why you ain't got it, and it's why you ain't gonna get it. And that's why Matan will. That's why this motherfucker will. He builds himself different. He built himself different. He leaned into. There ain't no much more greater hardship than fucking war. Now he's not on the front lines fighting, but he's in a distressful fucking state enough to know that probably, maybe it's justifiable not to invest a lot of monies into a coaching program to help him with his life and business and skills and all blah, 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 blah. Probably justifiable. He didn't make that decision though. But you're like, oh, not now. Oh, maybe later. This is why you're mediocre. This is why. You're doing the same shit. Fuck. All right. So you have nothing to share. You are unequivocally boring. No one gives a fuck about you because you have no story. Your stories are boring. So you need to go pick up a sword and you need to choose something to fight. You have an aim and you aim high towards a high mountaintop to climb. And it is through the climb to which you establish the story and you go through the difficulty. Don't you understand? You know this to be true because your favorite movies, TV shows, books, characters, and people are ones with the greatest stories, the hardest stories. You are inspired in your soul. You feel the shivers down your spine when you hear them. Something enlivens in you when you hear it because you know they have surmounted great difficulty. Your favorite people in life have surmounted the greatest hard. And on the other side has been the best, greatest stories. Yet you are not choosing the same. And that is why you stay the same. That is why you stay invisible, boring, lifeless, an NPC walking through life, forgotten by everybody. You may as well be already dead. Or, what do you do with your life? What should you do? You pick the most difficult thing that scares you. No, you don't do that. What do you do with your life? You aim upwards as high as possible and you have a high aim. And something that scares you a bit, something that has great adventure, and something that has risk, and something that most people don't do, don't dare to do. And you know because it's your heart calling you, not your head, your heart. And if you want to know about your heart, what it says, sit in silence. Silence you're avoiding. That is where you'll find your heart. You listen. Eventually it speaks to you. And life and the universe will give you omens to listen to your heart. Perhaps this video. Then you look at that mountaintop and you think, fuck, that's a far way. A long way. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. But a part of me is calling me to. Should I do it? There's only one answer. So you pick up your sword and you just take a step. Take an extremely mediocre step forward because it's going to be shit in the beginning and you're not going to feel good in the beginning. Or you might be really motivated in the beginning and then it's going to get shit after that. Regardless, pick up the motherfucking sword and you take a step. You take another. Then every day is like a brick and a step. And you use that fucking sword to slay what's in front of you. And you use your heart to exert courage to take another step. And when it gets hard, you have to remind yourself that this is where people give up. This is where the bones are left of forgotten dreams. And you have to decide, what type of person do you want to be? Coward or hero? And you just live out the type of person that you want to be. And you ask, what would they do? What would the hero do? Just do your absolute best to listen to that voice. Because the path of greatest adventure, the path of greatest risk, the path of greatest danger is the greatest story. It's where your greatest life is. And that's a life you can be proud of.